What's up, everybody? Good morning. So I'm sitting here doing some of my check-ins and what have you, and I'm looking to my left. Yes, my left, and something I wanted to talk about. Something that I was doing daily, got away from, and then started doing again. My goal is to do it every day. I guess you can call it my New Year's resolution, is to start off every day with writing down more of my things that I'm grateful for. So obviously starting off my day with more gratitude and getting more productive with my planning, because of the fact that, like between business growing as it is and you just never want to, one, not be grateful for where you're at now, because of the fact that if you're not grateful and you're not really enthused about where you're at now, wherever you want to go, it's just not going to be as satisfying, right? You're not going to be grateful for that, even because you're constantly looking for the future things and the things that you want to do later on and achieve, etc. But without actually being where you want to be right now, without you being grateful for where you're at now in life, no matter what situation you're in, you'll just never have that type of gratitude for things to come. So I wanted to show you a couple things that I do daily that really will make an impact. It's more or less like a mindset aspect of life, and again, being more organized, and it'll just make things that much better, I think. I've seen it happen in my own life personally. I don't know why I got away from it, but just doing these simple little things is just going to make a huge impact in your own personal life. So I'll move that out the way. So there are a couple things. There are a couple books that my boy Saul introduced me to these a while back, and actually the ones that he originally introduced me to was the Productivity Planner and the 5-Minute Journal. Now, the 5-Minute Journal is literally something that you can just start every single day with, right? So I'm just going to kind of open up and explain what it is. So every day you'll write the date. There's going to be some type of let me try to get that in focus for you. There's going to be some type of quote. Everybody loves to start off their day with a quote, and then right here you just write what you're grateful for, right? So I don't know what day this will be, but it'll say, I'm trying to get this in focus and it's not helping. Sorry, guys. So you'll write down what I am grateful for. 3 things. What would make today great? 3 things. Daily affirmations. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about the day? What do you believe about your life? Write those things down, even if they haven't even if you haven't reached them yet, right? That's okay. You're affirming it. You're speaking it into existence, right? And then you come back later on at night and just write 3 things 3 amazing things that happened today. And of course, how could you make today better? This is something that's going to just transform the way you think and the way you approach your day. And every single day you should be grateful for something. It can be literally, of course, it could be family, friends, work. It could be all that stuff. But when you're writing that down, when you're putting pen to paper, it changes the game, because now you're taking these thoughts out of your head, and you're obviously not lying as you're writing it, right? Like, you're not going to write a lie. That's pretty tough to do. So, it could be something that you're grateful for this cup of coffee. You're grateful for your friends. You're grateful for the coffee shop that you're able to work at, or you're grateful for your boss giving you a raise, or whatever the case may be. Anything you're grateful for that day, write it down. And then we have The productivity planner. Now, this is one that's a little bit, I don't say it's tough to use, but for me, it's it's getting into the habit of doing this. Now, we all know about well, if you don't know, there's this thing called the Pomodoro. And basically it's like, you work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, work for 25 minutes, etc. So again, same thing. Start your day off with a quote, your day, and then what's your most important task of the day? If there is one thing that you can do today that makes your day satisfied, what would it be? That's your primary, okay? So then that's what you write. Then you have your secondary tasks, your additional tasks. These are, things that, okay, you'll be happy that you got them done, but after you got the most important task and even the secondary task done. And then you just write down your notes, anything that is ideas, future tasks, etc. And then down here, all you do is, at the end of the day, at the end of the night, you write, you circle how productive do you think your day was. This will help you set your day in order and get you a little bit more productive in your day, and just not do things because, you're just doing them. Like, you should really have importance, right? You should really set priorities. Then, this is the one that I actually like using the most. If you don't know, well, I've spoken about it. It's something that I don't speak about every single day. I just don't want to throw it in people's faces, I guess. And maybe that's just something I need to work on personally. But yes, I am a Christian, and yeah, I'm one because I need a lot of help in my life because I'm far from perfect. And so the makers of the 5-minute journal are putting out, and I was able to get a couple of these because I got the plug, I got the connect. But this is a Christian gratitude journal, right? So it's essentially the same thing as a 5-minute journal. But the thing is that it's using biblical context. And so instead of it starting off with a word of the day, it starts off with a scripture, right? So, for instance, on this day, I don't know when this one is, but actually Matthew 11:28. This used to be on my Instagram, but it says, come to me all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Or we all know that quote. That scripture has, come to me all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. Then today you just write, what am I grateful for today? Same thing, right? It can be anything in life that you're grateful for. And then, what biblical truth did I discover in today's reading? Now, it could be based off of the scripture above, or you can be doing your own Bible study, Bible plan, YouVersion, any of that stuff. And what biblical truth did you discover in that reading? Then, on the bottom is, who can I pray or serve? Who can I pray for or serve today? And I think that one's huge because the fact that, as a Christian, if you believe in the power of prayer, which obviously I do, I've prayed for a lot of things that have happened, and I've also prayed for things that I feel like I was saved from. And, but the fact is that in that power of prayer, faith without works is dead. That's what my pastor says all the time. And I just think that when, you pray for others, they want to know, even if they are not believers or whatever the case may be, I think there is power in that. I think, especially when somebody's going through something and they don't know any other Christians, and they're like, you know what, bro, like, or if they're talking to their girls, like, you know what, sis, I don't know. I know you pray. I don't, but if you can, just say something little for me because I'm going through this. And that kind of opens up the door and opens up the gate to, what God has done in not only my life, but what God can do in anybody else's life. And, who can I serve? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you have, the materials that you have. You're as a Christian, we're meant to serve others, right? And that's a very tough thing to do and live out every single day, because humanity, and we're selfish, and by human nature, right? We think about us and what we can do for ourselves first, instead of, what we can do for others. There are plenty of people out there that need help, that can really use, encouragement, can really use a friend, can really use just a helping hand, and know that, and as a Christian, do unto, we all know that other one. It says all the time. I think you don't even need to be a Christian to, know this one, but, obviously do unto others as you would have done unto you. And of course, you don't do things because you expect things in return, but you know that the same things that, at least for me personally, like, the same thing that God's done in my own life, you want to share that same type of love and grace and patience and encouragement with those around you. So those are just a few things that I do in the morning that I want to start getting into a little bit more. Really just get that's what gets my life in order. That's what gets me in order. That's what gets my day in order. And that might be something that might work for you. So just give it a shot. I don't get paid for this or anything, but like the 5-minute journal and the productivity planner, you can get it, get on Amazon at pretty much any bookstore. I don't know when the Christian Gratitude Journal is coming out, but since I have it, I'm going to use it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Yo, all right. Today we're going into a nice little rolling back upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body. So 4-day split, volume's going up. We're going to be banging out some incline press, T-bar row, pull-ups. I don't know, some other stuff too. I have to look back at my program. But yo, started dieting today again. I want to stay lean. I really don't want to go do another build again, so just doing this, and let's rock. So I want to talk about my sneakers right now. I've been eyeing these for months. And I finally got them, and I'm super happy. Today's goal was to bang out, 10 to 12 reps of the incline bench. I was doing these last program as dumbbells, but I really want to start hammering the bench press, straight bar a little bit more often. Really get more a true compound nature, right? When you're using dumbbells, you're obviously detached in the center, whereas with the barbell, you're connected on one point and using the entire body. So that's my goal here. Nothing crazy, but it does feel nice to get some of this weight up. Who knows? Maybe I'll bang out 225 for 12 one day, but today's not that day. So I'm doing chin-ups here, which is palms facing you. Okay, my hands are, just slightly outside shoulder width, crossing the legs behind me. Now, what I want you to notice is in the back clip is the shoulder blades. It's essentially a two-part movement. You want to move those shoulder blades first before you pull up, because otherwise you end up using more biceps than you are your actual back, and you want your lats to be fired up when doing chin-ups, pull-ups, lat, any kind of lat movement. So make this a two-part movement and do it right. Now this is a high rep seated cable row exercise. With these rows, my goal is to bang out 15 to 20 reps and just freaking fry the lats, right? And I like doing high rep rows because, again, I just really love chasing that pump when it comes to, rows such as this. When it comes to bigger movements such as like bent over barbell rows, or maybe single arm dumbbell rows or dumbbell dead stop rows, and you can go a little bit heavier, sure. But when you're doing seated cable rows, this is something that I really like to do for a lot higher reps. And again, notice the back. I am separating the shoulder blades or bringing them apart, and then I'm pulling back before I pull back the weight. Use the back, not your arms. Another staple favorite, the bent over rear delt raise or rear delt flies. You know, this one is the same thing. Keep those shoulder blades separated, feel the movement in the rear delt, use light weight, get a nice burn, get a nice pump, and train those bad boys. I only curled in the squat rack to piss somebody off on the internet. Hope it doesn't bother you though. Smooches. We just got this dope freaking machine squat that I haven't used in years. So to say that leg day is going to be starting off lovely. I mean, look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. I haven't used one of these in a long ass time. So it's about to get lit. Lego. Machine squats. We just got this in my gym and it is freaking super awesome. I haven't used this in years, so for me to be able to use this again is just awesome. It makes me not need to use a barbell squat or or a split squat, whatever have you. Like, this is just one squat variation that I really love to do. Now you'll notice the band that's around my knees. This actually helps me because I have knee pain. So with the band around my knees, it forces me to keep my knees out and it allows me to use my glutes more. Yeah, so I've been shooting on 2 different lenses on my camera because I bought a manual focus lens, just a regular 16mm, a 2.8 aperture, right? And so like learning how to use these lenses, like the first 2 videos in this vlog are actually pretty grainy because I just didn't know how to get the manual focus. Well, I knew how to get it in focus, but obviously not for the depth that I actually ended up being in. So yeah, learning this video stuff is pretty freaking tough, but it's fun too. So I'm hoping to put out even more quality photos and videos, playing around with different lenses, etc., etc. But okay, we're gonna go to some RDLs, and yeah, we're gonna keep on crushing it. There you go. Remaining deadlifts, the staple to my glute and hamstring development. Now, note my feet and the positions of them. They are close together, directly under my hips, and I'm pushing my butt back. My butt does not go down. The moment my butt stops going back is the moment the weight stops going down. I come right back up.
we're gonna finally do this shit right. Look, you don't need a whole lot of weight. What you need is to relieve that tension from off the calf. The calf holds a lot of elasticity and a lot of elastic tension. So what you want to do is hold your heels to the ground for about 2 to 3 seconds, then come up and then go right back down. That's how you train the calves for hypertrophy. That's how you're going to actually leave the calf under tension long enough that you can create some micro tears, come back up with that pump, that contraction, and then go right back down. So there's actually, 20 pounds in that? You don't need 90, you don't need 100, you don't need 150. Do it correctly, and you're gonna get just as much, you're gonna get even better results from doing it this way.
Yeah, today was a very light day. Basically, we just banged out some machine squats, which was freaking awesome. And then we did some RDLs, which you saw. Everything I freaking did, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just kind of recapping just because I like to talk to the camera. Why not? But yeah, tomorrow is an off day. Today should have been an off day, but because of New Year's, throwing things off, and Christmas, throwing things off again. Yeah, tomorrow's an off day. I'll be training Friday, Saturday, but then the following week it'll go back to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Same drill, more volume, more work, dieting, all that fun stuff. And really looking forward to what's going to come within these next coming months, even if it's just, just dropping down a little bit of that water weight, a little bit of that body fat. Not so lean, but I want to be able to fit into my size 30 jeans again. Well, I still fit in them. They're just a little snug. For those last few months, they were fitting perfect. So, yeah. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to be putting out some more info and some quality vids and just my shenanigans. Because I love life. I love this. I love everything. Good and bad. Because it's what makes me me. Hey, it's what makes you you. So let's do it. Peace.